Meet Kanika Burrell with KTB and KB Management Solutions.
Our first company we founded in 2016, which is K4 Management Solutions, LLC. That is a government contracting company. The government contracting as well as consulting, human resources, as well as logistics.
Wow.
So currently most of our contracts are logistical contracts with the United States Postal Service. So we have contracts throughout the nation, the Postal Service. We do rural routes. So we outsource the routes to other people, and then they do the routes for us.
Thank you very much for being here. My
Thank
name is,
you.
you're welcome, Angela Thompson, and I am with Archangel Enterprises, LLC, and I am here with my very good friend, Kanika Burrell. And just a little bit about our relationship. We met each other as members of the Southern Maryland chapter of Top Ladies of Distinction Incorporated, and we've been friends ever since. We believe here that everybody has a story. And so what better way to celebrate Women's History Month than celebrating and honoring those that have made herstory, not history, but herstory. What inspired you to do that in that particular market?
Actually, my husband, someone he was in the military with, they did it. They had a logistical background also. And so they informed him of it because he did logistics in the military. He's a retiree. And then he also did it full time with the government, his full-time job. So that's his background as well as educational background. He has a master's in logistics, bachelor's and master's in logistics. So that's pretty much was his niche. And so they told the person, said, I think this is something you all could do. And we shadowed him for a while before we went on our own to do our own contracts. And he helped us with, like doing the packages to receive, that you have to submit in order to get the contracts. Yes, and so we partnered with him in one contract initially, and then we were off to the races, is doing our own thing. So we've been doing that since, like I said, 2016.
Let's not underscore the importance of shadowing and networking. And then putting yourself out there to even let people know that you're ready for something like that. And for somebody reaching back, that's what this is all about. You know what I mean? And so you seized the opportunity to kind of take note of what your friend was doing. He took interest in you guys. And then together you soared, and now you made your own thriving business out of this.
And we did it for free, which a lot of people don't understand that's a key component as well, because sometimes people don't want to do things if it's a cost involved. So you can learn things, necessary information and knowledge just by saying you would do things pro bono.
Absolutely.
To learn things that the information and the knowledge is, invaluable. So that
is an excellent point. Because what is this? A lot of people say, well, I'm not going to do this unless I get paid. Right. In essence, you are getting paid. Not only are you helping somebody that believed in you, but you're gaining on-the-job experience in training. How often do we have to go and pay for training somewhere? Exactly. You'd rather go and sit in someone's classroom than get real-world experience right here on the ground.
Right.
With someone that knows the business. That
so
is
I would tell
awesome.
anyone that if people are getting started, you may have to do things for free. To gain the knowledge, to gain the experience, to gain the connections. Most people don't realize that a lot of things within business is who you know, is networking, is the knowledge that other people that you know, and that's just invaluable.
What area do you serve?
Most of our contracts are Texas. And then one of our contracts is a husband and wife team.
Really? And what you're doing is paying it forward, but you're able to manifest in other people so that they too can thrive. They're actually employing people to work and to be self-sufficient. You're contributing to the economy. What an awesome story. I love that.
That was one of our main things that we wanted to do, to have good people and to sustain them. We make sure that we pay our employees a living wage. We give, things during holidays, packages, gift baskets. We do reimbursement for their car repairs because they use their own cars for our route. And so we reimburse them tires if they need, like I said, anything for their cars, because we want to keep good people.
That is absolutely awesome, Kanika, because a lot of people don't go to that length. They allow folks to go on their own 1099 and whatever expenses that they have, then they have to pay for it themselves. But you're taking care of the whole person and all of their particular needs. And so that type of benefit in terms of employment is one that will lead to loyalty. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so when they're no longer able, that you've already made a name for yourself. People will
Right.
be waiting at the door trying to get their turn to work
They
for your
will.
company.
And, that's what it takes to keep good people, that we're blessed to be a blessing. When
Hmm.
we have an opportunity, we would like to give other people an opportunity, whether it is through philanthropy or whether it's through, a living wage as far as a job, an
That's
occupation. So,
awesome.
yeah.
That is awesome. Well, let's talk about that you do with the HR piece.
HR, we do hiring for companies, other
Hmm.
agencies, or businesses that may want to outsource their human resources. So we'll do that for them. If they want job postings or Indeed or the different sites, we'll do that as well. If they want
Okay.
screening for applications, interviews, that type of thing, we do that. So just basically the outsourcing for companies or agencies.
Now, what inspired you to do that? That is awesome
Um,
as well.
Thank you. That's my wheelhouse per se. I have a second bachelor's and master's in human resources management. So that's more so my wheelhouse. So that's why we did both of them. Like small businesses who may not want to hire a HR person, may not have the funds to
Hmm.
necessarily hire the HR person, but they may hire us to do smaller jobs for them.
I love
Like
that.
interviewing and finding their candidates, screening their candidates, stuff like that.
I am
Yeah.
so super proud of you. You mentioned you had another business.
In 2023, we recreated KTB Enterprises,
Hmm.
which is our investment company. So now we bought our first property summer of 2023, in St. Louis, Missouri, and we're looking to get other properties. And our
Hmm.
goal with that is to allow people to, again, with the community, to have a home that they may not be able to purchase themselves, and with the market, given with the interest rates, but they still want a nice home. So
Hmm.
we purchased the home and we haven't had any problems as far as renters. Just doing work on it to make it nice for them. A lot of the businesses are buying homes where I'm from, which is where we bought in St. Louis, Missouri, because of the market, and it's no tie to the community. It's no tie
Hmm.
to the area. They don't care. They're just for the check versus that's where I'm from. So I have an invested interest in seeing the community be its best, seeing people be able to have a nice home, regardless if they don't own it.
So,
So
what advice do you have for folks that want to get into that business? People who may not have a lot of startup capital or savings, what is the best way for them to tap into that
I
market?
would say before you have to have the savings, a higher amount for your down payment and things. I would
20% or so
20%
of what
or
you're getting
higher.
ready to buy,
Yes,
plus
yes,
the cost to
yes.
maintain it and to fix
Right.
it up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. The minimum is 20%
Okay.
of whatever the property value is. Its minimum is 20%. Now, I would say because we have the other business, it allowed us to have the funds to even do it.
I
So
got
we
it.
didn't
Yeah.
have to use too much of our personal funds because we have funds through our business. So I would say,
That's,
that's afforded us, the first business afforded us to be able to start the second.
I love that. What
Mhm.
about angel investors? Folks that just want to contribute a little bit and to get a higher return on their money that they put in, maybe through the first renters you get, or
Mhm.
let's say you're getting a piece of property and you're going to fix it up with the plans to sell it. So, folks put in something as small as $500, but as soon as it sells, as soon as you get your first month rent, you're giving them that 500 plus 20 or
Now, like
30%.
I said, now if a person doesn't have the funds, then that would be perfect
Okay.
because you are coming together. That's what a lot of investment clubs and different things or people
Hmm.
get together, and that's what they do. So I
Hmm.
would definitely suggest that if someone doesn't have the personal capital to have an angel donors or family members or someone who may want to assist them.
Hmm.
That's why you would have to really sit down and know what your budget is, how much you would need. That's one thing we did is
Hmm.
calculated what we wanted to spend because we had a
Hmm.
higher amount that we could have spent on an investment home. We looked in Baltimore, we looked in this area, but we settled on St. Louis because the cost of living is cheaper. So we wouldn't
Mm.
have been here per se. So
Okay.
our 20% went farther there than it did here. So that's why we
Smart.
settled settled there, so we wouldn't have to come out as much. So I would suggest anyone who is interested in that to do their homework to kind of see how much they would be able to afford. Because like I said, we got approved for a higher house, but we were like, do we really want to take a higher risk? Because we bought the summer of 2023. It's now, March 24. We have it. People calling us to sell, and it hasn't even been a year.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's a benefit.
And then you carefully select a location that works for you. So although you're not there now, you have roots there.
Right.
But you've got, and so I'm sure you must have like a property manager or something that's helping you to do that. Okay.
I do. Yes, our realtor is our property manager. So we asked her even prior to purchasing to be the property manager. That's what I mean by making sure that you are really looking at all factors, dotting your I's, crossing your T's, because with the investment situation, you just never know. So you want to be most prepared, as much prepared as you can be.
Because it's risky anyway, right? And so why absorb more risk because you just don't know? And so the thing is to talk to more folks like yourself, really understand the business, and that what you said before about the budgeting, right?
Yes.
Have your spreadsheet, know what your costs are going to be, your sunk costs, your fixed costs, your variable costs, and understand what type of profit, not that you want to make, that you need to make, and by when, in order to get at least to what your break-even point to get to that profit margin based on what your ultimate goals are.
Right. I monitor the market heavily. So each house, I know what it's worth. I know what the surrounding areas are worth. So even though we had a realtor, I already kind of knew myself what the market was looking like, how it was moving. It was going up. That's why, like I said, St. Louis is the area, because it's Midwest, the cost of living is very low, more moderate than the East Coast or West Coast. I knew we could get more bang for our buck there, and that even if it would cost us less initially, eventually we would have an equity because of different factors. I knew they were completing a zoo in the area that would do extension. I knew Boeing, which is where my mother retired from, was building a new facility. So I knew those things going in. As well. So that's why you have to do your research about where you're purchasing it. So that's why we have the equity already, because they're about to make different moves and things in the area. So you have to really do your research.
I love that.
I would just let people know that one thing can lead you to something else. That can lead you to something else, but I would say master the first one first.
Absolutely.
Sometimes people start too many things, at one time, and they haven't mastered the one that they're doing. So I would say if you do have multiple businesses, at least master the first one.
What good advice. We're going to look at this as a time capsule. So as we tell Kanika's her story, we're going to look at this next year and to see what's next for Miss Kanika, because you've got quite a story already. And I thank you so much for sharing it with us. Do you have a website that you want to let us know about?
We use our Facebook normally. K4 Management Solutions on Facebook.
Everything's in a name. What inspired you to name it K4 Management Solutions?
Of course, I'm a K, and then my 3 boys are Ks.
I love that.
Yep, okay. And then KTB is me and my husband, Kanika and Terry Burrell.
Okay. I am so proud of you, and I'm so grateful that you said yes. You are such a joy.